So I think it's safe to say that Bitcoin and the entire crypto market is back to the big bullish wave that we've been expecting and waiting for. And it looks like the rest of this year could be very good for crypto. So we're going to be discussing that, kind of going over my thoughts on the market. Again, coming from someone with about a year and a half of real hardcore crypto experience, meaning I've just stayed involved with it every single day since then. So let's get into it. So first of all, let's talk about Bitcoin. It's at $103,000 right now. Now, again, with me having a small amount of technical analysis experience, I'm not going to try to give you guys like my best rundown of my own version of technical analysis, but I can tell you what I've heard from those traders who have years of experience within the markets, their kind of thoughts on where Bitcoin is headed next. And I can say the overwhelming majority of them, mostly all of them, see Bitcoin doing very well throughout this year and potentially making a new all-time high later into Q3 and Q4 of this year, which I do align myself with, having looked into it myself, trying to understand what they are saying themselves. So with that in mind, short term, what people are looking for is a quick drawdown with Bitcoin, meaning that they see Bitcoin going into a range of $94,000 to $97,000, where again, we're currently at $103,000 per Bitcoin right now, which, like, if you would have asked me this a couple of months ago, I would have said, oh, maybe this would have happened, late in 2025, but here we are in May with a $103,000 Bitcoin. So a lot of altcoins have been reacting very favorably to this. But again, people expect in this coming week or the next couple of weeks that we will see a sweep of around $94,000, $97,000, kind of ranging in there before we have a big breakout, making a new all-time high, preferably within the next couple of months. So that's what I've heard. So with that in mind, if you kind of sidelined yourself throughout this whole thing, kind of waiting for further confirmation that the rest of 2025 would be very bullish, and again, not financial advice, I would wait to see, and this is going on for me as well, to get more entries into some coins. I'm waiting currently to enter in some altcoins of mine for that sweep to happen. Especially with Bitcoin dominance being so high, that's going to probably take alts down a decent bit, not anything too crazy, to give just a better entry point to when we then range higher and potentially make a new all-time high for Bitcoin. Of course, I'll be DCAing throughout this entire experience, but also DCAing in terms of taking profits. A lot of the coins that I'm in right now, I have take profits in mind for them. Again, based off a multitude of different factors per the coin. But I have a plan to take profits out that is realistic for each coin, where last time that I actually did make a decent amount of money in crypto, I didn't have too big of a plan set in, and that ultimately led me to not making anywhere near the amount that I realistically made after all the fees and after a bunch of other scenarios as well. So with that in mind, I have a plan in place for each coin that I'm in to take profits smartly from, and I'd highly suggest that you do the same if you have not already. Here are the 3 coins that I've been buying throughout these past couple of months. These are coins that, again, throughout the year of 2024, these coins specifically made me a very nice amount of money, and I still think that, especially looking at their strength right now, that they still have some room to grow and do pretty well. And they're just coins that I know very well and still see doing very good. I'll kind of explain each of these, not in detail. I'll make separate update videos on them just because of the tide of how the market is shifting right now. I think it'd be nice to update these coins again, even though we've recently talked about them. The first token is that of Ski. Let me currently look up the price of it. We're at around 7 cents. And again, last month, in the past 30 days, we were at around 3 cents per Ski. And so now being at 7 cents, you're at a double at the very least. Again, this is why I always go over DCAing, because if you would have bought $1,000 at like 10 cents, and we dropped to 3 cents, you'd be at like $333, right? Somewhere around there, down to almost $700. But if you would have bought at 3 cents, another 1,000, well, now you're at $1,333. If we go to 7 cents, now you're at around like 2,600, something around there. But the point is, you're up in total for both your buys $600. So that's the importance of DCAing. You'll easily make back your profits if you DCA at the right time. So it is tricky to get the timing down, but it can make back those profits instead of you simply being down and not getting any better entries. that's pretty big to learn with spot trading, and that's something that I've had to learn myself. Just want to throw that out there. But the first token is that, like we said, of Ski. Again, 7 cents right now. I wasn't able to actually buy in at the 3 cent mark. I didn't know realistically what the market would be doing within these next couple of weeks, but then again, we ranged higher. But I should have, realistically, I should have bought at 3 cents and I would have doubled from there. But I did manage to get an entry at around 5 cents. So I will double with this new entry at 10 cents. So that will be when I take my initial out. So waiting for that to happen, because I do think that could happen for Ski. Again, just going over this briefly, I do think 10 cents is definitely possible for that of Ski. We're at 7 cents right now. Community is still strong, etc. Right? We're not going to get full in depth on it, but I just wanted to list that out. That yeah, I'm in Ski. Aerodrome as well, solid project. You know, one of the best in terms of the base ecosystem. This is one that originally got me into the base ecosystem, got me into my first actual decent money in crypto. So still a project I do really love. It's at 75 cents right now, 25 more cents to $1. Again, same situation, past 30 days, it fell down to a low of around 30 cents. So again, you'd almost be at a triple from here. Very cool to see. Love this token so much. And yeah, I really expect this to do pretty well. If we can continue this bullish momentum throughout this year, I'd even think 75 cents is a good buy-in. It'll still be DCAing anything above $1 or below $1. I'm sorry. I'll be DCAing into. So even here, I'm probably going to be buying some more throughout these next couple of weeks, assuming we don't end up pushing above $1. But I do think we'll stay below $1 for now if we do make those ranges into the $94,000, $97,000 range. But those are two tokens. There's not a third one I've been buying. I've realistically just been buying those two, but also futures trading. But I do think, like I said, the whole point of this video is just kind of give a market update, kind of go over what I've been buying, but also just like the nature of the market. I think we're headed into a very bullish direction. You know, if you somehow exited throughout early 2025 and you're kind of bummed because you see everything ranging like this, these prices realistically are not that bad. Like 75 cents per arrow we saw in a way hotter of a market, 2 cents or $2 being reached with that. So you'd be at almost 3x from here. So there are definitely entry points, and that of Ski, like 7 cents if you were to buy in right now, that's around, I would like to say, a 4x from here, 4 to 5x. So again, like you put $1,000 in, you know, you're risking that 1,000, but you could get 4 or 5,000 from that of Ski just simply touching its previous all-time high, which I definitely think is possible. So I wanted to kind of just bring that up for you guys. And you know, even if you end up making $10,000 a cycle, if again the cycle continues to be bullish, because there's always a chance it doesn't, just keep that in mind. But even if you make like $5,000-$10,000 a cycle, if you're able to take things out of this that you've learned, that's all that realistically matters. And if you just stick with crypto day in, day out throughout even these bearish times, like in the next couple of years, I'm assuming we're going to definitely have a retracement. It's going to be pretty significant after all this bullish momentum. If we have that retracement and you just stick with the markets, and that $10,000 used wisely could definitely add up to $100,000 to potentially even 7 figures. And that is something I have to be telling myself, no matter what happens within this market, always just use this time in the market as lessons to learn, to apply, because that is ultimately what matters. But that's just my thoughts on the market, guys. I just want to do a quick rundown for you. With all that being said, I will see you guys later.